globally this month, if I have everything correct. And believe it or not, there's actually a cryptocurrency associated with this Shark Tank like TV series. It's Wait. It is Hourglass Crypto, which I have pulled up here, which has been on a rally, a little bit of a rally, like a couple hundred per. Is that 100? No, 50% rally over the last month or so. So it's having a move in anticipation of the release of this TV show. It's going to be pretty exciting. It's going to be fairly interesting. I do not hold any Hourglass right now. But nonetheless, I'm fully aware of it, and I would like to hold some of it. I'm just feeling as if I'm succumbing to a little bit of FOMO. But honestly, right now might be a moment where FOMO is worth hopping into because it's still super small. $28 million market cap when it's fully diluted. 97% of the supply is already fully diluted. So what exactly is this? It's the next crypto. It's Shark Tank for cryptocurrency. You guys are familiar with Shark Tank. There's another show just like this that's coming out next month associated with the Hello token. Some of you guys have probably heard about the Hello token. I've talked about it a bunch. So the next crypto gem premieres in 56 countries, Wednesday, September 6th. Oh shit, that's today. Damn. Okay, wait. Maybe it's not a good idea to FOMO into this, right? Buy the rumor, sell the news. On the flip side, we're not really seeing too big of a price impact on the coin today, despite having the show release at some point today. I'm excited to look into the show. I'm excited to see how the show goes. It's weird to me because they haven't done any real marketing. They haven't done any real marketing to promote the show outside of these few articles that are popping up. So a little bit disappointing if we're going to be completely objective with it. Let's look at CryptoPanic, see if there's any other news that's happening today. I didn't really see anything noteworthy to bring up. Solana leads gains following Visa partnership. We covered that yesterday. Cardano for a bull run. Ooh, some technical analysis guru is like, oh, this is going to go up. Whatever. I hate these. These articles are the dumbest shit I've seen. Like, these honestly make me irritated that they get included anywhere. When I look up a coin and I see, like, technical analyst price prediction for whatever coin, I'm like, okay, no news is happening for that coin then if these are the only articles that are out there. With that being said, Cardano's on-chain transaction volume has surged by over 1,700% this year to date. That's good. That's a bullish thing. That like makes me reinvigorated. What's good, AR construction builder and developer? Hello, sir. Happy to have you here. Jonathan, Crypto Dream. Crypto Dream hasn't made any money on Hourglass yet. Well, me neither. Solana and Visa is why Sol had that pump. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We were talking about that yesterday for a little bit, right? Because I made an entire video on it. Because it's like big news. I know it didn't have the most dramatic price impact, right? Like, I guess we should go directly to this. My cat is screaming in the background. Can you hear that? It like had pretty much no impact on the price, which is indicative of the market that we're in. The market's not super hot. Sir, give me a trade, sir. Eventually. AR construction builders and developers. Did you take the Matic trade yesterday? Yes, we did. Yeah, we touched on Sol for a bit. I made that video because it's like, it gives me the conviction. I don't hold any Solana, but it gives me the conviction that I'm in the right space. I'm looking at the right things because there's development happening constantly. Even if the market is to shit like it is and had no price impact at all, that's a bullish sentiment. That's a bullish thing. And I posted it on Instagram, and some of the stock market traditional investors who gave me shit for talking about crypto reached out and they were like, oh, I didn't realize things were developing like this. That's really bullish. That's a cool thing. And I'm like, yeah, why do you think I pay attention to crypto? I'm not an idiot. Like, I know what I'm doing. Now, before I go looking at the charts, I want to show you guys Kaspa, because Kaspa has been something that we've been in for a good chunk of time. We called Kaspa. We did a classroom on Kaspa down here. I waited till we broke out of that trend and retested before I entered into a trade. And then I entered again on this wick down here. I was getting a little bit nervous here with this pullback that we were experiencing because we were breaking through previous all-time highs, right? And so I was nervous that we weren't going to find support. It looks like today, being up 10%, we are finding some support on Kaspa. And so as a trade, again, I'm going to enter into it with a little bit more on my position, which is risky considering it's such a large position in the portfolio, but I want to get this up to 2,500. Ideally, I'd like to get this up to 2,500. You can see the two purchases here, one for under 2 cents and then one for pretty much where we're at right now. So I'm break even on this one basically. And then, yeah. So I want to grab another, probably like 800. So I'll probably put like 40 bucks into it. Bring it up over $100. It's a shame that it's up 12% today, but that's what I needed to see that we broke out, right? That's what I needed personally to see that we were breaking out of this trend. So we had that spike, and Kaspa's just back on its rally. It's just back on its shit. All right, now let's look at the market. Let's go into the minute. Volume is dead. Volatility is no longer here. You gotta... Yeah, volatility is no longer here. I have 294 CAS, about $11. Nice. Nice. Small position, but hey. We all got small positions to somebody else, right? We all got large positions to others. So, sure, I'll go over it again really quick. No, I went over it yesterday. I'm not going over it again today. Very briefly, the middle VWAP here, I'm looking for us to respect the VWAP, stay on one side or the other. So either we stay above it or below it for the entire day, and I look for it to bounce off of the middle VWAP. I enter into the position in whatever direction it's going. By staying on one side of the VWAP, it tells me what direction the market is moving in that given moment. Ethereum is not respecting the VWAP. Bitcoin here is respecting the VWAP. Aside from this short peak right here, right? Early in the morning, it didn't really respect it too much. We had that one peak, but for the past several hours, we've been respecting it. So the cats are freaking out right now, and I'd appreciate if they would stop because it's loud and distracting, and it's really irritating me. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's respecting it. We'll take note of that, right? We'll take note. Cardano is not. Come on. Stop zooming out so much. 9:45, we will get some action. Jonathan from the future here predicts 5 minutes until we get some action, especially if DXY pumps or dumps from key level. We'll check out the Dixie right after this, the dollar index. Matic, the trade on Matic went perfectly yesterday, like really well yesterday. We entered into a long, I think it was right here, right? Yeah. And then it went right up to the trend line that we were talking about. We took profits at previous all-time highs at 1%. Congratulations if you took that trade with me. Yeah, that was pretty much the only trade. Usually this pattern plays out a few times and you can take it again and again and again, but it did not play out like that. Today, it's not really doing anything. It's not respecting it. It's not respecting the VWAP, so Matic is off the table for trading today. Solana... It is, now this is interesting, okay? Solana is staying below the middle VWAP, so it might be indicative that it is a clear direction and we could take a trade. However, it's not. It's like a trick question on this one, okay? Because it's staying below, right? So it looks like we're in a downtrend. However, it is not currently making higher highs or higher lows or lower highs. It's just consolidating. It's flat. So it's not having a clear direction, right? While it is below, it's not coming up and testing the middle VWAP and then making a lower low and then coming up and testing it and making a lower low. So it does not fit the criteria for me personally. It's literally just chilling in this range. And some people are range traders, right? So you could take trades when it touches the bottom and sell at the top, but this is such a small range. It's 100% not worth it. HBAR, no. XRP, No. Aptos, okay, truth be told, I was looking at Aptos before I went live, and I thought it was going to be a good one to trade because it did come up, and it looked like we were going to bounce off of the middle VWAP. It's testing it a bunch. It's knocking at that door a ton. I think it might break through to the upside on it. I don't have the conviction just looking at this chart, and that's more of just like an instinct. I could be wrong, but I don't have the same level of conviction that I did with Bitcoin. Is it good to study indicators? Yeah, 100%. It depends on what indicator you're talking about, but yeah, I would get familiar with tons of different indicators. Everything on this is technically different indicators. I know that's probably not exactly what you're talking about, but Arbitrum could be good. Aside from this morning spike here, it's been staying below and making lower lows and lower highs, right? So downtrend. Arbitrum could be good. Bitcoin is good. Quant as well. Quant could be a good one. I don't know that there's enough volatility in Quant right now. Yeah, the price swings are 0.5%. I don't think that's a good enough one. Bitcoin is the one that I will be looking for. Bitcoin's something that I want. And I understand that that's only 0.25%, but we can expand on that leverage. So where I'll usually use 10x leverage, I might go into this with 25 or 40x leverage even because the moves are so small. But Bitcoin is not gonna spike the same that an Aptos would spike, right? Like we see Solana here had a pretty dramatic drop, kind of all of a sudden, 1.7%. It's dramatic for the market we're in right now. Bitcoin's not just gonna do that like off the rip, right? So it's, yeah. Okay, cool. Now let's look at the Dixie, DXY. So this is not crypto, but because crypto is measured in dollars, you have to look at the strength of the dollar occasionally. It's good to know like the general trend that the dollar's in. How, like, if this is measuring the price or the value of a dollar, why is it at 104.718, right? That's a question that a lot of people are going to ask. Like, how is this measuring the value of a dollar if it's at 100? Wouldn't it just stay at 1? I thought the dollar was a stable coin. What the DXY is taking the dollar and comparing it to a basket of other fiat currencies from around the world. So I don't remember them off the top of my head right now, but a bunch of developed countries, everyone has their own currency. So you take the dollar and compare it to the average of strength on all the other currencies, and you get kind of a value of the dollar in the global economy. And over the last, really from like back here, in January of 2021, the dollar went on a monstrous rally. 28% increase on the strength of the dollar is mind-blowing, okay? I know it's not big because we're all in crypto, but that is a monstrous move for the dollar. That's not something that normally happens, and that absolutely, like, it has global impacts. There's a lot to say behind this, but the reason for this rally is because we increased interest rates and other countries wanted to buy our debt. In order to buy our debt and get access to that interest rate, which is considered the risk-free rate of return across the entire global market, you have to buy into dollars. When you buy dollars, you drive up the price, okay? Complicated, I understand. I don't want to bore you guys with it. Basically, what you need to know for this, you need to know I'm trying to see if I can get the compare. Do any of you guys know how I can compare? I don't remember right now. Whatever. From January 2021 until September 2022, the dollar went up. Okay? What did Bitcoin do during that time period? From January of 2021 that's December, until September of 2022, Bitcoin went down 54%. So Bitcoin crashed when the dollar went up. That's because they're inversely related, okay? very loosely. You can see initially it continued to go up, but it slowly ran out of momentum and then crashed by 50%. So dollar goes down, Bitcoin goes up. When Bitcoin goes up, dollar goes down, right? Cool. Compare two charts together. Yeah, I used to have it set up that I could just click on it and show Bitcoin overlaid, but I deleted it to make it look more simple. So do you guys remember how to add that? Like layering? Yes. Look up layer. No. I think you can like... Aha! It's really just as simple as that. Okay, cool. Thank you. Figured it out. Great. Alright, well, I don't want a percentage chart. This is annoying. Nobody wants percentage charts, but you can kind of see it here if I overlay them. You can see that, right? You guys catch it? I don't want to spend too much time. I guess, you know what? It doesn't matter. Grab a log chart. There we go. Whatever, it's not going to do it as smoothly as I want it, but what we'll do at the lows here, okay, we'll draw a line up from the lows. God damn, dude. So this is where the dollar bottomed, okay? The dollar bottomed, give or take, around the time that Bitcoin peaked, okay? It's not exact, but nothing in the market's going to be perfectly exact. And then so far, this has been why I've been calling that the Bitcoin bottom has already been in for a very, very, very long time, okay? I'm going to pat myself on the back in a second when I show you guys this, but this is where the dollar peaked. Kind of move this over a little bit. Peaked right there. Bam. All right, so it's like a leading indicator. The direction that the dollar moves is like a leading indicator to where Bitcoin is going to go, right? Because the dollar bottomed and started going up 300 days before the peak, but this was like a pseudo peak, so like 100 days. So 3 months before the peak of Bitcoin. If we use this as the peak, this was kind of a fake out peak. If we use this 3 months before Bitcoin peaked, the dollar bottomed. The dollar peaked about a month and a half before Bitcoin bottomed. And so that's why I've been saying this for a while. This peak on the dollar was pretty obvious. It was very apparent, especially when it broke this trend line. It was like, okay, we're going back down. Now the dollar's kind of finding support around this $100 range, and it's like, I don't know what I'm saying with that. It's starting to find a support around the $100 range, and Bitcoin is starting to have a little bit of trouble. It's starting to hit that resistance a lot. So it's very, very closely correlated. Okay, that made sense for you guys. It made sense to me, but I knew what I was trying to say. I can remember, split the screen. Yeah. I think this was a solution. This was a good enough solution for me. If you go across historically and compare all of them, you can see explicitly. We'll close this off for a second so that we can just look at Bitcoin. You guys are familiar with the cycles of crypto. So if we were to look at the dollar really closely, really quickly, we had the 2017 peak, right? So the 2017 bull run, the dollar was going down in value while Bitcoin was exploding in price, the 2017 bull run. And then Bitcoin collapsed. Bitcoin started having a lot of troubles and the dollar started increasing in strength a lot. Then in 2020, 2021, the dollar went down and Bitcoin went up. Now the dollar's going up and Bitcoin went down, right? It's very, very correlated. This one was a lot smaller, but 2013, dollar went down, Bitcoin went up. 2014, dollar went up, Bitcoin went down. Cool, cool. Let's get back to Bitcoin, make sure that we're not missing out on the trade that we were going to take. We did miss out on the trade that we were going to take. That was the quickest little whip I've ever seen. That's actually very upsetting. While I was going on that rant about the dollar, it came up to the VWAP where we would have entered and then fell back down. I don't know that we would have taken profits. We might not have reached taking profits, but that was the exact trade setup that we were looking for. It just happened hella quick. So we'll enter it. I'm entering it in the next... As soon as I can set this up, I'm going to enter it. So I'm going to open up my trading platform, sit up so you guys can see my face and not just the top of my head. Trade. Futures. Market. BTC. LOL. Yeah. What time was it? What time did it happen? Dude. Jonathan. We should have been here. 13:45. That exact minute candle is when we would have entered. Exactly when you said. 13:45. The exact minute. 9:40. Oh my god. That's amazing. That's amazing. God damn it. Alright. I'm allowed to use up to 125x leverage for Bitcoin. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go in with 25x leverage. It's a little bit aggressive, but it's not being super volatile, right? So I feel confident on Bitcoin to go in with higher leverage than normal. Let's check out Quant while we give Bitcoin another minute or two. Quant is another one that I would be looking at to take a trade on. I don't think I'm going to. The pattern's not as clean as Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I think, will be able to bounce around a bunch of times with how volatile it's been. So give it a second. Give it a second. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer to the VWAP before we enter. And plus, we got to bear in mind too that we're still technically in a little bit of an uptrend, right? Like on a micro scale, we have a low, a higher low, another higher low. We got a high, a higher high. Okay, so it's not really making that next higher high, which is good. That's indicating to us that it's losing some momentum. We look at the RSI, and it's absolutely starting to lose momentum. It didn't quite go as high as it did before. I'm entering. Okay. We're looking to make just a 0.25% return on this one. Very small. Very, very small. I got in 25.7 43.96. So not the greatest entry. Should have been looking to get it up here. That's okay. That's all right. It is what it is, right? I don't even know if we'll get the 0.25. That would require it making another low, like a newer low. I think I might just take profits at the 0.2. We'll see. It's going to retest, yeah. We'll see. If we go back up to, we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. Setting up for a short squeeze. What makes you say that? What makes you say we're going to go for a short squeeze? I mean, we're closing in on a tight range, right? We're definitely getting in on a tight range. Something's bound to happen soon. There's like on the daily chart here. Honestly, I could see that too. On the daily chart, it does look like we're breaking all levels of support. So I'm shocked that we're not like looking at this. Oh, I should put my face in the camera, huh? Looking at this accumulation of candlesticks here, it tells me that we are going to speed up on a decline today. We're going to like rapidly go down in price. I think that over the week or two, we'll probably come down to the 24,600 range where we did before here, right? You can see this with me, okay? We had a layer of wow, what was it calling? An area of contention, right? Where the buyers and the sellers were fighting up here. It was support, then it broke below and it became resistance. Now we're starting to curve over, right? We're starting to curve over. So I would fully expect today, tomorrow, maybe into the weekend to have like an acceleration of downside momentum, and then probably a little bit of a V if I had to guess. I think the next like 4 or 5 days will probably be red. We'll see, obviously. We'll see. I'm just hoping that this trade plays out nicely as well, because we had the Matic trade yesterday play out nicely, and I just want 2 in a row. I want my account to grow, baby. I want my account to grow. I meant to come in and look at the 15. The 15's looking very bearish. The 5 is looking confusing. And the 1 just has our setup, so I'm in it. Yeah, okay. I think I might call it, might end it. We can take some questions if you guys want to chat for a minute. My stop loss is going to be up here, just above the middle VWAP. It's a little bit tighter than normal. Honestly, I should put it up here, but then I'm risking 1 to make 1, and it's not the greatest trade. I think I'm going to do that. I'm confident that we'll move in the right direction. So take profit is at 0.2, and the stop loss is also at 0.2. Not the greatest risk to reward. This is not a good trade. This is not like a home run type trade. We're also just... It is what it is, right? Not every trade's going to be that way. So I'm taking a little bit extra risk in this one, and it is what it is. We'll see how it plays out. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys. We're getting a nice little group of people together. We're getting a nice little streaming setup here. Yeah. Okay. I got a classroom in Crypto Night. I gotta get ready for today. It's gonna be a good one. I'm excited for this. I'm excited. I know that I forget who it was. Somebody had asked for a specific coin, and I forget. And I've been wanting to do a classroom on CheckDot for a little bit, so I'm gonna do some CheckDot. I'm gonna do the classroom on CheckDot. Is PMI coming out today? It probably didn't. Wouldn't it have already come out today? PMI release. CPI is coming out again soon. Everyone loves a good CPI release. Oh, at 15. We'll see how big of an impact it has. We'll see. That's going to be a lot more impactful for the broader market, I think, than crypto. But nonetheless. This is a big candle. I would really like to see us, because the take profits at that support. If we approach that support with a ton of momentum, I'm not taking profits, and I will let it ride for a little bit, because I do have a bearish tendency on the day. So I do think that we'll continue to, like I said, I think the selling's going to ramp up. It's only going to gain people with time. Hell yeah, Dream. Hell yeah. We're moving forward. Okay. Yeah, I know I just said that I wouldn't take profits if we approached here, if we approached the support line, but that was because I expected the candles to like rapidly approach. If both of these candles just went straight down, then there's too much momentum for me to comfortably take profits. I'd want to see where we start losing some of that momentum. But if we have a stepping stone down, a staggered way down, then I'm 100% getting out at support. I'm going to move this here so I can watch it while we talk about the other stuff. This is the money flow. Didn't really see the need to talk about it today, but yeah. What was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna go check YouTube. I wanted to see how many of you guys were chilling here with me, because I know not everyone talks. 3 watching. Let's go. Jonathan, and Dream, I think, and now Patrick. I'm a little hurt, guys. You're not even gonna like it. The money flow. Didn't really see the need to talk about it today, but the hell. And if any of you guys took the trade yesterday, you made money. If any of you guys took the trade today, you made money. You're not even gonna like it. You're not even gonna like it. So this is what I was talking about. I have not taken profits yet. I didn't have my take profits or stop loss set up. This was a very quick drop, right? So I want to see where the momentum brings us. We just broke below, right? You can see we broke below the previous lows, right? With a lot of velocity very quickly. So I'm still in this short. I'm going to let it ride for a minute. I'm going to see where it goes. Just for a minute. Probably until we get a red, green candle close. Do a trailing stop loss or something. Get so much spam emails. It's nonsense. Pure nonsense. That was good. How many of you guys, did any of you guys enter into this trade with me? I know it was a little bit meh. Not the greatest trade setup, so I absolutely do not expect any of you guys to have hopped into this one with me, but I'm just curious if any of you guys followed suit. Yeah, see that? Do you see how quickly the momentum? These are full. Okay, let me take a moment to kind of justify why I did not stick exactly to the trading plan with this one, why I felt confident to continue to hold it. I was taking a little bit of a risk, yes. However, these candles are full body candles. There is no wick associated. You know how up here we have a Doja Cat candle, right? It's just it's a stick. There's no body, it's pure wick. It's a doji, but I like calling them Doja Cat candles. Up here we had kind of a hammer, very similar, small body, all stick, all wick. Up here as well, if we look at this one, even though it was going down, this candle still had a wick, a very decently sized wick, which tells me that there was not a clear direction in where Bitcoin was headed. The buyers and the sellers were at war with each other. Every single candlestick is a war. It's a battleground in this massive war that is the price movement of Bitcoin. It's buyers and sellers are fighting each other on a small time frame on each candlestick being a battlefield. They're fighting to see which direction it moves. And so with a candlestick like this, the war is not super decisive. Okay? A candlestick like this, it is very decisive. Very decisive. There is no wick. Sellers won this battle 100%. Went straight down. This one was a little guy, right? But it's a candlestick pattern. And then here again, okay? And I'm taking profits. Okay. Took profits. Right? So that makes sense to you guys? These candles are very directional. You can tell clearly that the sellers won this one, okay? Very, very clearly the sellers won. And they continued to win for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes in a row. They won. And then we had this candlestick, which bounced back up. Now the sellers are taking profits. The people like us just took profits. And the buyers are coming back in to drive the price back up and have their little victory here, right? But these are full of wicks. I don't like wicks when I'm in a trade. So that trade was good. That trade was a success. We aimed for 0.2, and I ended up with the initial target, 0.3. Yeah, I ended up with 0.333 or something on 25x leverage. That's a pretty good trade for me. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this live stream. That's another one in the books. Another successful trade. And you guys got to watch the whole thing this time. So thank you so much for being here with me. Your time is your most valuable asset, so hopefully this was worth investing into. I got my Joyage shirt on. Go ahead and tell Cade. Relay the message to Cade. We're on our own Joyages. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll see Dream And I don't know if Jonathan Royan is in the Discord, but I know Dream is, and I know the other Jonathan is, so. Enjoy your hump days.